Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. If you're new here, my name is Georgina, co-owner of Ivy and Twine Candles, and in today's video we're going to be talking all about the various different marketplaces available for you to sell your handmade products. So if you're maybe just getting started and you haven't yet begun selling your own handmade products, then I really do hope that you find this video useful and informative. If you do, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up so that YouTube knows to show it to more like-minded people. This video is part 1 of 2 of this topic, so please do be sure to keep an eye out for next week's video, which will be covering part 2, in which we'll be going into more detail about how to actually stand out from your competitors on these various different marketplaces and how to get repeat custom. And before we get started, I'd just like to ask you to please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, if you are interested in candle making, candle business, and generally small business related content like this video. I post new videos every Tuesday/Wednesday, however please do feel free to click the wee bell so you do get notified when I post a new video. And with all that said and done, let's jump right in. So first up we have Etsy. Now I wanted to talk about Etsy first because of course it seems to be really the place that a lot of people will start off on as a marketplace to sell their handmade products. Of course Etsy's whole mantra is handmade and vintage and everything like that, so really I think it should probably be a marketplace that you at least consider. In terms of the pros, I would say it seems really easy to get started, and because it is a marketplace used by so many customers around the world, it means that of course you have the ability to have your products be seen by those potential customers, and hopefully you will have the ability to convert many of them. Of course, really that depends on a lot of factors, and we will be covering those in part 2, so do stay tuned for that. What I will say is that of course there are fees involved, like you have listing fees, transactional fees, everything like that, as well as for advertising on Facebook and other social media sites. Etsy will basically push your product listings onto those social media platforms and then take a small commission if those customers convert. And really I guess it is up to you and your own opinions whether you feel that that commission is fair or justified or not. As I said, I believe it is only charged if a customer actually clicks through to your listing and actually does place an order. So in my opinion, I guess I would kind of say that I feel like it probably is justified, and at the end of the day Etsy is a business. They are having to pay money to Facebook to advertise there. At the end of the day, yes, it is a commission that they are taking off of your sale. However, you're also gaining the attention of that customer who is then going to hopefully love your products, tell their friends and family, leave reviews, hopefully place more orders in the future. So I think you really kind of have to also take into consideration the bigger picture, that yes, they may be taking a 50p or £1, I'm not sure how much it is, fee of the commission. But really the pros could heavily outweigh the cons if you are getting that repeat custom and positive reviews and all that good stuff. And at the end of the day, there are costs of course involved with each and every marketplace, which is allowing you at the end of the day as a business to sell to the public. Secondly, I wanted to talk about the idea of having your own website as a marketplace to sell your handmade products. So I think it's fair to say probably a lot of people in the beginning set up an Etsy shop and then look to either add their own website or change over to their own website as a way to sell, especially when they have more of an established customer base and they have a good presence on social media where they can direct people to either their Etsy or their website to place orders. And I think a lot of people probably do move over to their own website from Etsy in the hopes of escaping all of the fees involved with Etsy. But of course, as I just touched on, even if you do build your website yourself and you're using a provider like Squarespace or Wix or Shopify, there are of course numerous costs involved. So we personally use Shopify, we have done since day one and get on really well with it. As a disclaimer, this video is not sponsored by Shopify or anyone else for that matter, however we have worked with Shopify in the past on a collaboration. So to give you an idea of the costs involved with Shopify, the basic plan is $29 a month plus a 2% transactional fee per sale. But I just checked and our Shopify costs us £88 a month roughly. So feel free to head on down to the description box below where I have left a link as always to our website if you would like to have a look at it and see what hopefully £88 a month looks like. And if you would like a video on all of the apps and plugins and everything like that that we use on our Shopify website, then please do let me know in the comments section below and I can certainly do that at some point in the future. We could go on for a long time on the whole Etsy versus your own website debate. However, I suppose at the end of the day, you do have a lot more kind of flexibility and control over how much those fees are going to cost you. I believe the transactional fees are significantly less on Shopify, but I might not be 100% correct on that. And of course, you do have the option to add different apps and plugins and things like that on your own website, which you don't really have the option to do on Etsy. So of course, not everything is done online. You do still have the option to sell your handmade products face-to-face with your customers. And when I say face-to-face, what I really mean is markets, like for example, farmers markets or craft fairs. And you of course also get seasonal kind of fairs and events throughout the year, like for example, at Christmas time, a really big one will be kind of Christmas shopping events and markets that you'll have in November and December. And these are really great if you're selling handmade products because people love to buy them as gifts. So these are a great way for you to meet your customers and potential customers. And if you do have local markets available to you, especially, I would recommend looking into these. Oftentimes there is a really small cost involved with renting space, and you have the opportunity to introduce your products and your business and yourself to your local community. And I think with handmade products especially, customers really like to see them up close, feel them, touch them, see them, smell them. If it's candles, for example, people will always really like to smell candles before they purchase them if they possibly can. And not only that, but of course you as a vendor can give them a lot more information on the products, answer any questions that they might have, talk about how you make them, the process, everything like that, which you may struggle to do via your website or Etsy shop. And of course this is really great for repeat custom as well, because oftentimes you will see the same people at these markets, which are often monthly, and you can really build a relationship with them. If you are thinking about this as an avenue, then I would definitely recommend reaching out and emailing the organizers of the events. Also, another great place to look is on Facebook. Oftentimes there are Facebook groups for kind of different areas in which people will share news about upcoming events and things like that. So you can kind of get in on them early, and hopefully you'll have a better chance, if they are competitive, of getting a space. And next up we have, of course, the avenue of wholesaling your products and working with stockists. Now again, I could do a whole other video on this topic. I have had a couple of requests already and it is on my to-do list of videos. However, for now, what I will just say is that definitely one of the best ways that you can meet with potential wholesale customers and stockists is through trade shows / fairs. So for us, if you don't know, we actually focus a lot on this area as a marketplace. So I would say that our two main marketplaces that we focus on really are our stockists and our website. We actually launched our business at our first trade show in Glasgow back in September of 2019, and we now work with about 25 different stockists. So if you don't know much about trade fairs, they are normally held in really big exhibition spaces, and they basically act as an opportunity for you as a business to meet with potential customers with the hope that they will open accounts, place orders, and stock your products. So of course, unlike the markets that I previously mentioned, these do cost quite a bit more because of course they are much bigger scale events. They cost a lot more because the logistics and organization of these events cost a lot more to the event organizers. So for the smallest stand at a trade fair, you can really expect to be spending anything from £500 right up to in the thousands of pounds, depending really on how big the event is and how many people they have coming to attend the event, which will then basically mean how many potential customers you have to meet. Now, I realize that this is a huge cost for a new business, and many people will not be able to afford that. The only way that we could really was because we launched our business right between our wedding and our honeymoon. So we had a bit of money saved up for our honeymoon, which we basically spent a lot of on our stand. Luckily, the event went really well. We opened up a number of accounts with stockists, and their orders basically meant that we could recoup those costs and still go away for a lovely honeymoon. What I will say is that if you are thinking about going down that route, is to do some research and have a look at what kind of grants and funding and loans are available to you as a startup business, or even not even if you are established, oftentimes there are still grants available. So for example, in Scotland we have the Business Gateway, and we also have the Prince's Trust, as well as many other organisations, I'm sure. Oftentimes with these kind of organisations, unlike if you were to go to the bank, these are very low interest rates, sometimes even zero interest, and repayable over quite a long period of time as well. Of course, I don't want to encourage anyone to take on any debts which are going to cause stress and anxiety. So I would just urge you to, of course, do all of your own research before making any big decisions. But I just wanted to mention this because I think a lot of people aren't aware of all the different grants and funding that are available, and I know that a lot of them are actually repayable, so they're basically loans, but a lot of them aren't. They are just startup grants basically through the government and other organisations. So it's definitely something to bear in mind. Go away and do your own research if this is something that you are thinking about, because I think if you get it right, then those costs definitely can be recuperated very quickly and grants and loans paid off just as quickly as well. But please do, of course, as I said, go away and do your own due diligence. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm only trying to give you a little bit of advice based on our own experiences and lessons in hope that you will find it useful. So that is it for part 1 of all the different marketplaces available to you. As I said, part 2 will be going up next week, so keep an eye out for that. If you want to know how you can stand out from your competition on all of these different marketplaces and how to get repeat custom, please do give this video a big thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys!